Hello, guys. You're welcome to Moment with Jbangs. Of course, I am Jbangs, and you are welcome to this wonderful moment. Today, we are going to be talking about something so very important and something so very powerful. I think that should be the center to which we achieve most of the things we want to achieve. Is it relationship? Is it marriage? Is it work? Is it attitude? Is it your artistic places of interest? Is it your, what do you call it, your physics? Maybe you want to, there's something you want to do about your body, like my tummy that I've been working on, and so many other things. So today we are talking about goal setting. Of course, setting of goal. What are goals? Things you feel you want to achieve within a particular period of time. Those are goals. So, first and foremostly, goals helps you to choose where you want to go. Of course, it gives you a roadmap to where you want to go and what you really want to achieve. That is one. Then goal setting, by knowing what you want to achieve, you will know that you have to concentrate your effort on that particular thing. If today I know very well that I want to change my attitude on something, then I'll have to make it a goal. Okay, this is what I want to change about myself. I don't like the fact that I get so angry. So this is the goal. I want to really achieve this within this particular period of time. I don't want to get angry to things just like that. I don't want just by someone saying something it offends me, or by people doing things and it gets to me. How do I stop it? How do I change it? So this is when the issue of goals come in. So we have different categories of goals, just the way I mentioned earlier. We have what we call the career goal. Yes, in terms of your career, what you choose, you really want to go for in life, of course. And we have also financial, maybe your finances. These are goals. You want to actually have this amount of money before this particular period of time. This is another goal. Then we have education. There's this knowledge I want to acquire on something, but how do I get to acquire it? I want to be this, I want to be that, but the best way to acquire that is to go through education. So you set a goal that has to do with educating yourself. How you're going to get educated, either through going to school, searching things online, or sparing time for yourself to be able to achieve that particular goal of educating yourself. Then we have family. Maybe there is this part of your family that you think you want to change, or there is this something about your family you want to change, or there's something you want to achieve about your family. Maybe they've been poor for a long time and you feel no, you want a way out. So you start bringing out strategies on how you think your family are going to forge ahead. So the best thing you do is to sit down, of course, and create the goal of your family. Then we have artistic. Of course, I have the skills of singing, and the best way to be able to achieve it is to set a timeline, to set a goal. Okay, I have this voice, I can sing. Okay, then what is important is I sit down and write down goal on how to achieve my singing career, of course. And then we have attitude. I have this attitude, very annoying attitude. Maybe I don't submit to my husband, or I don't submit to my friends, or I don't submit. Submission naturally is hard to me, or maybe I don't even know how to talk. My behavior, it's very awkward. Anyone who comes around me complains about it. I am tired of behaving like that, but I cannot help it. I found myself each time going back to the same thing. So how do I do about it? I have to set goals. I need to say by this time, of course, I have to stop this. So these are the only ways in which we're going to stop things. If really we want to change things, we have to set goals. There has to be goals. And then we have physical, of course. As I told you, my tummy. I want my tummy flat. I don't like too much, how will I put it? I don't like this complexion. I want it to change, and all of those. So, or maybe you want, there's something about your body or your health status that you think you need to work on it. So this is when physical comes in. Then pleasure. How do you want to enjoy yourself? What basically do you do that you find yourself enjoying it? What makes you drive pleasure? What makes you feel good about yourself? So when you think of something like that, then the next thing to do is to set a goal, how to achieve it. What makes you feel you feel nice about yourself? What makes you feel that? So you now set a goal towards that, so that time to time you get to be very okay about yourself. Then we have public service. Do you want to make life this life a better place for other people? Yes, public service. You want to serve people. Is there any way, any decent position you feel you want to occupy, you want to reach out to people? Of course, this is when you now decide to set a goal. I really want to reach out to people. Either maybe their spiritual life, I want to improve their spiritual life. Maybe in terms of their relationship, I have to work towards something like that, and other stuffs like that. So this is how it works. Okay, so we are done with categories of what do you call it? Categories of sorry, what do you call it? We're done with categories of job setting. Of course, I told you we have public service, we have pleasure, we have physical, we have attitude, we have artistics, we have family, we have financial, we have education, and we also have career. So we've talked about all of this. These are some of the categories of goal setting. If I want to set a goal, I will select which category. Most importantly, I will have to go to my SMART. We have what we call SMART, which is SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals. So when we talk about specific, you pick those goals that you feel they're very important, they're very significant, you want to achieve them. So you pick the very, very important and significant ones, which are very specific. Okay, I want to really stop being angry, and that is my number one goal. So I have to pick the issue of attitude to work upon. And when I'm done with that, then you have to make sure they are measurable. Make sure that there are things that you can achieve them, at least if they are meaningful, something that you know really you can achieve them and they are very meaningful. Then attainable. Ensure that there are things that you can reach out to, things that at least you know they are within your reach. These are things that you know you can work upon. Like my anger, I can start to work upon my anger because it's reachable. I know, of course, I can do that. Then we have relevant, of course, which is rewarding, a goal that you know that is rewarding. If today I can work on my anger, is rewarding because a lot of people around me will stop complaining that I'm this, I'm that, and things I'm used to doing that are not good and necessary, I will stop doing them, which is very, very rewarding. Then time bound, of course, you have to ensure that it is something you can achieve within a particular timing. That will take us to something else very soon. So then let's move to how really you want to actually set those goals. There's something about setting goals. You can set a long-term goals. Let's say from now to 10 years, I want to be this, I want to be that. But in as much as you've set those goals, there's no way you will achieve those goals from just saying, in next 10 years, I'm going to be the manager of this place. No. It doesn't work like that. You wouldn't find yourself being a manager if you don't start it gradually. So what you start doing is you set a goals of how to be a manager, but you start by a weekly plan. Okay, in a week, maybe there are books I need to read about what a manager should do and what a manager should not do, or the skills I need to acquire within those particular time before I start moving to the next 10 years plan I have ahead. So we're talking about 1 week plan. Okay, in this week, I will now say that within this week, these 7 days, I'm going to do this. I'm going to read this book. I'm going to ensure that after reading this book, I'll switch to this book. Then after doing this one, I will do that and I will do that. Then you move ahead to your 2 months plan, to your a month plan. Gradually plan, that's how it goes. And then you go to 6 months. Before you know it, after 6 months, then you decide to a yearly plan. You have your goal already. You set your goals. You said that by the time in this year, by the time I'm 1 year, by 1 year, I'm going to make sure I have achieved this. Then in the next 5 years, you still set your goals, and then that is how you keep on going until you become a manager. You don't become a manager by day. No, it doesn't work like that. It takes steps, of course. You have to ensure that you go gradually from weekly to monthly to yearly, and then up you go. So it can be attitude. I want to change my attitude in the next 1 to 3 years, let's say. I'll start by a week, of course, weekly something. So I will observe how I behave to people around me. I will observe whenever they do something to me. What is that thing that makes me to actually get annoyed to an extent of being angry and shouting at people, or I'm behaving the way I shouldn't. So when I get to find out that this is it, what I will do, I will now write down how do I avoid it. And that's why you have to search for books online, you have to read online how to avoid anger, how to manage my anger. When I'm angry, how not to speak. How not to speak when I am angry. How do I do it? How do I manage it? I can't just become. I can't just say, man, I want to be angry. I have stopped being angry. You have to walk towards it, because the moment you say you've stopped being angry, trust me, a lot of more temptations are going to come to your way, and you find yourself getting angry and just misbehaving. So it doesn't work like that. So after setting your goals in this week, what will happen is that when this guy says this to me, or this girl says this to me, there is a way and certain way I'm going to behave to the person, and then I move to next 2 weeks. This is it. And I will make sure that every goal I set in a week, if I said I'm going to do this, I'll have to go and revisit it. So when I revisit it and I am sure that I have achieved those goals, that's how I'll continue. Then 2 weeks plan. Okay. By some month, you start feeling good about yourself. You start feeling confident because things are becoming better because you have set a goal for yourself. And before you know it, in the next 3 years, you are one of the perfect person when it comes to your attitude. So what are we saying? So what I'm saying is that it's a gradual thing, but to change an attitude or to become something, it takes time. It takes steps. You have to start gradually before you become. You don't just become. Just the way we were given birth by our parents, mom has to get pregnant for a few months. Of course, like not even few, for 9 months. That's almost a year. Then I had to become a baby in her tummy. That's the process. And then she had to give birth to me, and I started crawling. Before I know it, I started walking and falling. Before I knew it, I started walking. Before I know it, I went to school, primary school. I went to secondary school, and then from now, of course, I went to the university. And before you know it, I'm 18, I'm 19, I'm 20, and then I found myself 25, 26, and then I'm getting married, and I got married, and then other stuff goes in like that. It's a gradual thing. So I think what happens is you follow your goals strategically. What happens to us in life is that we don't have goals, so whatever comes our way, you just find ourselves into it. But I think if we have goals, I have set this time that I want to be this. Goals in everything. Goals comes in everything. It's not just about career. I think people dwell more on career, but trust me, if you have any attitude you want to change, I've been a victim. I don't know how to talk. I can be annoying and all of this. And when it comes to and when it comes to anger, I had issues with anger management. But how do I go about it? I had to look for goal. I would have to look for a way to achieve that part of me that I said I don't want. And you know the most annoying thing? I know I get angry and it's not a good thing. Then what do I do about it? How do I stop it? I have to set a time. I have to bring it at, okay, this is it. Judith, you get angry and it's not good. People around you don't find it easy when you get angry. So what do? I go online, I search how to stop being angry, or how to avoid being angry, or how to avoid reacting when you are angry. So what happens? It becomes better off. When I find out, first of all, I have to acknowledge. If you don't acknowledge you're something, you find it difficult to actually do something about it. And you know the most annoying part of it? People may say, someone else will say, another one would say, but you may not reason that is what it is. But as far as someone will complain about you not once, complain about you not twice, complain about you not 3 times from different places, then obviously there's something wrong with you. So what you need to do is sit down, reflect upon yourself, meditate. I do this, why do I do it? And how do I stop doing it? And most of the times, people's stories are there for us to read and learn. So that's why you can go to the media, you check how to do this. You are not the first person going through this. There are people way more worse than you think you are. So what I think and what I advise is you should go and find out ways to be able to manage whatever it is. Then set a goal. By this time, by the grace of God, I'm going to stop doing this. By this time, by the grace of God, people are going to start testifying and saying, wow, this person has changed. If there's anything that is constant, it's change. And we all have the keys to do whatever it is we want to do. We make our choices, we take our decisions, but the best way to actually change and actually become what you want to be is by setting goals. I didn't know that goals were that important. I thought when it comes to goals, it's just all about career goals, setting goals of what you want to become in the future. I want to become a manager, and that, no. It has really gone beyond that. Goal can be set even in the kitchen. You can set a goal. You would say, okay, by the grace of God, I don't know how to cook. I have decided that I want to learn how to cook. People around me have actually complained too much about the fact that I don't know how to cook. But then how do I get to cook? Okay, you set a goal. Between this day to this particular day a week, I'm going to make sure I learn how to cook egusi soup. Then I would say in the next 2 weeks, I would say I will learn how to cook rice and stew. And then that's how it goes. When you set a goal, before you know it, you'll be confident in yourself that you're becoming that thing that you are actually saying out to people out there. So what else do we need to know about goal setting? I told you that when you achieve a goal, it is very important that you reflect back. Go back to the other goals, see the ones that have become hard for you to achieve, then put more force. If really there is a goal that I've tried to work upon and it wasn't really working out, what will happen is that when next I'm going to actually visit those goals, I'm going to be hard on it. I'm going to try as much as possible to be hard on it. Maybe I want a flat tummy and I did a week. I don't eat too much, but flat tummy seems to be there. So I will decide by next time that I want to do that, what will happen is that I am going to make sure that I take a week, I take 10 days, not eating too well like that. And then before you know it, of course, it's becoming, and I become confident in myself. So I believe it's a gradual thing. What else do we need to know? Okay, so importance of goal setting. I told you earlier on, deciding what you want to achieve in your life. Of course, it helps you to decide. I want to do this, so it helps you to decide. When you really have an idea of something you want to achieve, you decide on it by setting goals for it, and then separating what is important from what is irrelevant. When already you know that you have a goal, you will set your priorities straight. Okay, among all the goal categories I mentioned, okay, I have issues with my artistic skills, of course, and I also have issues with my attitude skills, and I also have issue with my family, but which one comes first? So setting goals will now help you. You'll be able to pick among the goals the best goal that you know that it's going to actually be applicable to your life, that's going to actually work out just when you want it. The most important goal is the one you go for. If I want to set a family, I want to get married, first and foremostly I will go to the family goals, so that I'll be able to set goals. How do I go about my children? How do I go about parenting? How do I go about my husband? How do I take care of my husband? How do I be the woman he wants me to be? You know, then maybe when you ask questions, then you'll be able to have answers. But when actually things like this take you by surprise, it becomes a problem because you don't know how to go about it. But when you prepare for it, you know that if you marry, you have a husband you have to submit to. So you've written how submission should be. You've gotten to know more about what submission is. So when it becomes easier because you know. So when it comes to parenting, you know that this is what comes with parenting, especially when children start coming in. It's not the way you think. You may not be just the way you used to be with your husband. You've already planned all of those, and you've set it out within this period of time. Of course, by the grace of God, this is what is going to happen to me, and of course, this is how I'm going to manage myself and manage things. That is how it works. Then motivating yourself. The moment you set your goals, and then along the line you're going, I'm becoming better. Wow, things are becoming better. I'm achieving my goals. You're ticking the boxes. By the time you're ticking the boxes, you become better of yourself, and everything will now be fine, and you feel motivated and confident that you are achieving your goals. What happens is, whenever you achieve something, there's just a way you celebrate it. There's a way you feel about yourself. You have reached to a level where you have won. So you see, it's a good thing. So then building your self-confidence, I just said it. It builds your self-confidence. That is one of the importance of goal setting. So today we've talked about goal setting, and honestly, I myself, it took me time to understand that I am supposed to set goals. And setting goals is not just in my career, it's not just in my family, it's not just in my physiques, but in my attitude and other stuff. I had an issue with attitude. Not that I don't know how to talk, not that, but there were just things I need to put in place. Emotional intelligence, how to manage my anger, how to manage my affairs, how to do things when I should and why I should. I had issues with all of those until when I sat down and I decided, okay, these are the goals I want to achieve. If my husband has been complaining that I'm this kind of a woman, then it is high time that I set my goals high. It's high time I tell myself, okay, what is my husband saying about what I am doing? If it's my boyfriend, he complains that this is it. What is it that I'm doing that he doesn't like? Okay, you write them down. Now the goal is, how do I achieve those goals? You made up your mind, I'm going to make sure I achieve this goal within 2 weeks. I'm going to make sure I achieve this goal within 1 month. I'm going to make sure that I achieve this goal within 2 months. And my husband will notice and say, no, you have changed. So it's possible. So when you set a goal, I need to be this, I want to be this, it becomes more clear and more beautiful for you, because you would be able to count all your successes. You'll be able to see all your successes, and it's a very good feeling, honestly. A lot of people are out there, they need solutions to problem. I think when you set a goal for your life, it becomes easier for you. You set a goal, you set a goal on things you want to be and things you don't want to be, things you want to drop and things you want to add to yourself. Life is a process. You go in line. There are things you have to drop and there are things you have to pick. So in as much as you're moving on in life, you don't just come and go as a person. No. You go, you learn, you grow, you learn, you grow, you learn. But goals are the most important aspect of growing. So if you really want to grow and you want to become better, it is very important that you set a goal for yourself. So if you're out there, you're just like me, who got lost and didn't know what to do, I found out that setting goals is the most important. When I set goals, it's going to be very important. It's going to be very easier for me to be able to actually find ways to be able to change that particular thing I want to change about me. And the story is going to be beautiful. Of course, guys, I love you so much. I am Jbangs, aka Jbangs, and you're welcome to my moment with Jbangs. Of course, if you have any question for today's episode, of course, feel free to write it down, feel free to call my lines, feel free to chat me up. I have people who chat me on particular topics, so feel free. If you have anything you want us to talk about, feel free. It can be your neighbor who is in actually a situation where he doesn't have answers to it. Don't worry, bring it. I will not use your neighbor's name. If it is you, I will not use your name. What will happen is that we're going to talk about it. You will hear the opinion of people. There are people who are going through the same thing that you are going through. Or there are people that have already had experiences. They've even passed that level and they had solutions to the problem as at when it happened. So when they say 1 or 2 words, it's going to help you. So I think it's high time. Don't hide it. We are all here to help ourselves. We are all humans. We have our own mistakes, of course. And feel free, please, to say whatever it is that you want to change about yourself. We are ready to help you. I am ready to help you. And I need help too. Whatever it is I feel I need to work upon, I'm going to look for you. You guys are the one to help out. Because trust me, with one another, it's more easier. When Mr. A tells me this and Mr. B tells me this, I will now wait, and before I know it, I am safe. If you can save the life of someone in your room by commenting or by sending me a message on what to advise the person, I believe you have gone a long way. You've already impacted. What is more important is impacting the life of people. I love you so much, but we are out of time, and I feel I should share this piece with you. And please, don't forget to like this and share it to other people. I am here as a learner too. We learn every day, and a problem shared actually is half solved. So sharing your problem will go a long way in the life of other people. So feel free. You can call me through my regular lines 08160152012. I am Jbangs, and I am signing out. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you so much.